Welcome to a Farming Simulator 19 map tour with me, MrSealyp. I am on VORPOMMERN RUGEN. This is by AtzeVR. I first encountered this map personally on FS19. I think it was out prior to that on PC. Anyway, so this has been changed quite a lot, I have to say. As I've been seeing more and more of the FS17 mod maps converted over to console, you kind of come on thinking, oh, I hope, it's changed enough, it's modern enough that it's, it feels fresh, and this does. We start in the farmhouse, but interestingly, we are facing south. We come out of here. This isn't a sleep through the night farmhouse. This doesn't appear on your menu as a sellable item, and if you go inside the door, normally if you press L3 you get the "you are not tired," but that's not happening, so I assume this is just a decorative kind of farmhouse. You can't actually sleep in it, which is minor thing. There are a few mods available to be able to sleep through the night. So we're going to face south again. Lovely view. And we'll have a look at the map. We start kind of over towards the east-ish part of the map, about halfway up, and this is your main farmyard. I know people are screaming out for American maps, but if you want a big, open, expansive map, this is it. Big fields, loads of space, until an American one comes along, because I know a lot of the US guys out there and Canadians and stuff, they want some bigger maps, and I totally understand that. So as far as what do we start with on new farmer mode, we start with field 4 here, which is a fair size. Some of the land around it, which takes in our main yard and a few spots, and also takes in this section here, which is weird. Well, not weirdly. Your main farm silo is over here, not at the main farm, so it's kind of split a little bit, and there are a few other bits and bobs over here we'll look at. That's what you start with. Now, as far as prices go, wow, this is not a start from scratch map, I would say, and here's the reason why. That one there, 769, does that say? 759,000. This one here, 786,000. There was a, where's the big one? There's an absolute monster. 779, 807. Where is it? There we go. 1,585,000 for that plot. Now, here's a minor downer on this one, and I'm a little bit. Biogas plant. To use the biogas plants, we know on FS19 now, to be able to use them and utilise them, you need to own them. So it'd be nice to just be able to buy the biogas plant, but this one comes on a plot of land for 678,000. So whilst you are getting field 9, 17, big chunk of forest and some grassland, that's a lot of money to pay out if you want access to the biogas plant. So yeah, minor drawback. So field prices or plot prices are fairly high. It's not like there's a little tiny one you can pick up and gradually build up. They're all fairly expensive, 690, and so on. So that's kind of field prices and the plot you start with. As far as sell points go, we've got the barn, dairy station, grain elevator. I don't want to pronounce these badly, I'm sorry. Gullerverkauf. We've got Kartoffel and Rubenverkauf, Mistverkauf, then power oil, sawmill and spinnery. What I do like about this is how the sell points are kind of split between the things they only need to take. The barn will take all your regular kind of barn type items. So if we scroll, why is that not scrolling across? There we go. So your barn will take silage, straw, hay, grass. Your dairy station will take milk and eggs. Your grain elevator, which is the main sell point, takes pretty much everything, but not everything. Your Gullerverkauf, or Gula, I'm sorry, that's a slurry sell point, and that all that takes is slurry, right the way to the end. Kartoffel und Ruben is your potatoes and sugar beet. Then you've got Mistverkauf, which literally translates, because I checked, it's crap sale, so that's where you sell your manure. Power oil will take your oily crops, So it will take your canola and your sunflower, sawmill, wood and wood chips, and then your spinnery will take your cotton and your wool. So you kind of have to go to various different sell points to sell off different crops, and I like that idea. Not bad at all. Now, what do we actually start with? Let's go to garage. We've got a Fendt Favourite 511C, we've got the Fiat 1300, we've got the little small Rossel Mash 330, a pickup, couple of Fortschritt HW80 trailers, header for the Rossel Mash, we've got a small plough, small cultivator, we've got the little Lemken Azurit 9 planter, we've got a disc bind 13, which you don't often get as starting machinery for your mowing, loading wagon, water tank, header trailer, one weight, sorry, and we start with the large cow pasture. That's the only animal enclosure you start with. You don't start with any other animals on the map, but you do start with that. So on New Farmer, we're starting on 523 out of 1299 slots. So that's used already as 523, which isn't overly excessive, to be fair. You start with a fair bit of equipment. Now, if you start on Farm Manager mode, where you don't normally have anything, you don't start with any of the equipment, but you do have the large cow pasture. And if you start on New Farm Manager, you're only on 395 slots. So it drops it quite a way down if you wanted to start on Farm Manager. So onto the map itself. We're going to go into the main yard. And there are some nice features on this, and I love the fact the gate's kind of all rusty as well. It's not that pristine gleaming metal gate. What I am incredibly impressive as well is I remember looking at this and doing a first look and having a drive round on FS17, and no disrespect to it then, but it just seemed not quite, the textures weren't quite right. I don't know, this seems a lot more crisp and clean and tidy, and you know, I like the way this has been adjusted. I really do. We have got lots of areas on this map which don't have fields, so when you buy a plot, you generally get a field or a couple of fields in a big open area, which will have quite a few trees on it. So if you like your forestry, we can take down a load of trees and it's nice and flat. You can clear it all out and extend your fields, plough new ones, whatever you want to do. There's a lot of scope for development on this map, and because the map is pretty much across the entire map flat, there are going to be a few little bumps and things here and there, but unfortunately for me, sad times, no undulations. It is pretty much flat across the entire map, which is good for landscaping, good for placeables, that kind of thing. So we've got machinery in the sheds. There's no shortage of shed space here, and we've got a nice big open yard here. Barns open, and again loads of storage space for vehicles. But what we have got on here, which is another nice feature, which we're not finding so much on, or some of the maps lately we haven't had, we've actually got built-in seed refill points and things like that into the map, which, you know, the last few haven't had that. So here we've got a seed refill point at the main yard. If we go across the yard, we've got more buildings that we can open up. In this one is where we've got our harvester, and this is your vehicle workshop for doing your customization, repair, that kind of thing. But around this side we've got a herbicide refill point, which is inside the building. Again, I like the fact we've got them built in. Price wise they might be a bit more pricey, so you might still want to put your own placeables down, or you might want to go for pallets from the main store. That's entirely up to you. Now, something I did forget, and I have forgotten the last couple of first look map tours, is the reset point. If you put a vehicle into a ditch, roll it on its back, do something silly with it and you can't get it back, or you just want to reset it, this is the reset point. If you reset a vehicle, it comes back to this hard standing area here. We've got some more machinery over there, one of the trailers and the disc bind, and this is your store. There's not actually an actual shop store to go to. This is the point here, so if you want to buy anything, you're going to do it from here, or you can do it from your main menu, and when you do it from your main menu or from here, it puts it right on this hard standing again. We have got water here as well, so we've got a water point, and that's free, so when you fill up the water it doesn't cost you anything. And we've got a small silo just tucked away there. Now that also doesn't come up on your sellable items, so that silo stays no matter what. And then we've got our dairy barn yard bit, This is a placeable, and this was one that popped up recently. I can't remember when it was, but if we go into here and have a look, all the animal pens that you can place are all the standard in-game ones, but we do have on the very end the large cow pasture, which is the one we've got in-game, and that's a modded one. Or was that because I've got a mod? Actually, you know what? It might be the standard in... I don't think it is it? It might be the mod. Because it's got trees in the yard of it, isn't it? Yeah, this is the one I liked, where you open the gates and you can drive through and out the other side, and it had a little bench which has gone on. Oh no, the bench is still there, there you go. And the modded one that I did on my mod review didn't have the trees in it. That's what I said. It was a bit puzzled by that. But anyway, yeah, so you don't have to have this. You can get rid of it. I think it's 18 slots. So if you wanted to and you start on Farm Manager, you could get rid of this as well and then just place your animals wherever you want. So that's the main farmyard. We do have tucked over here another one of the Fortrit trailers, and we've got a lovely, lovely brown pickup. Because let's be honest, if you're looking for a pickup, brown's the colour you want to go for. And we're going to start the map tour now. Like I say, the plots and fields are big. There's going to be a lot of drive in between. I'm going to kind of do an anti-clockwise rotation round. And if we look at the map, you'll see we're starting here. So what we're going to do is kind of go up around past the spinnery, out past the dairy station. We're going to take in the potato and sugar beet sell point and the main grain elevator. We're going to go down past the crap sell point and the barn, the main farm silo, sawmill, biogas, animal dealer, and then out to power oil. And you'll get a bit of a feel for the map, and like I say, how flat it is. There is a lot of scope for customizing, because you don't start with any other animals. Once you buy up some of these bigger plots or open, you can build this however you want. Some maps you're quite restricted, especially down to, you know, the maps I like with a lot of undulations and hillsides and slopes and valleys. You can be quite restricted to where you can place stuff without doing lots of landscaping. A map like this gives you real kind of carte blanche to do whatever you want. So we're going to bang a left and we're going to head up north. So we're towards the eastern side of the map. Now around the edge of the map as well, you've got quite a few trees around the edges. So if you do like your forestry, there's plenty to do. Once you start buying up these plots, there are loads of trees. So let's whiz around, follow the road round. Now I have got traffic on, but I haven't come across any yet. So I don't think there actually is any on the map. Loads of grass areas as well. So if you buy some of these big plots up and you need to be doing grass work for feeding of animals, there's loads of open space for doing that. But as you can see with some of these fields, when you buy a plot up, you can really extend these fields out, and some of these fields are big anyway. And what I also like, compared to New Bartelshagen, there don't seem to be any of these fields don't have telegraph poles and stuff in the middle of them. I know a lot of people don't like that. They want just a big open space you can get on with your farming. The fields are fairly rectangular, but again, if you wanted to, get out there with a plough and you can make them whatever shape and size you want, really, once you own the plot. So no pesky fences to worry about, gates, hedges. There's a lot of bushes, but you can drive through those. So we're coming into the spinnery for your cotton and wool sale, which is just here. And before we go out, looking at the field opposites just reminded me, contracts. We do have contracts available, and it would only show one, wouldn't it? But they are quite lucrative. Now I say they're lucrative because the fields are massive. So realistically, yes, they are lucrative contracts, but they're going to take you quite a long time. I've got mine set on acres, not hectares, but that field area is 59.6 acres. So whilst the payment is 39 grand for that contract, it's going to take quite a while to do, I would imagine. But let's crack on. I'm going to whiz round up the top, and I'll see you in a moment. So, despite the fact there's a big cow out the front, it's not the animal dealership. This is your dairy, so this is where you can sell your eggs and milk, tucked around the side just here. So you've got your egg and milk sell point. I know a lot of people, not everyone's happy about the new lighting effects and all the rest of it. I do love that look when you get that kind of early morning and you have that kind of mist across the ground. Whether that's intentional or not, I don't know, but I just think it looks really cool. And it is interesting having a map which is so flat and you can look out quite a long way across it. So, whizzing around further. If I can stay on the road, which would be fun. So, tucked into the barn just here, we have got our potato and sugar beet sell point. Now, I think the pile only shows potatoes, but this is the spot that's showing for both. So, I assume both will go in that, no problem at all. And then we have got the grain elevator. So, this is kind of the main crop sell point, although you can't do all crops here, but this will do kind of most of your crop types. This is your sell point. Just tucked in here. There's a lot of really nice detail, and like I say, I hope I'm not misremembering. And like I said before, with so many maps you look at, you kind of some blend into others, and you can't remember which features were from which. But it just seems a lot more detailed. The original obviously had all the animals dotted around at different locations, and those are missing now. But I don't know, it really does have a much nicer feel to it. I like it. So moving on from here, we're going to be heading from the western side of the map towards the east into the middle of the map. I do like, you've got the main road, this is a kind of concretey surface, but then you've got this bit here. I really like this detail. Kind of bump up onto here, and you've got these like concrete slabs, kind of like you had on New Bartleshagen as well, that kind of interlock. You can imagine this ground has got kind of boggy over time, and they've just put these slabs down so you don't sink in. It's a nice feature, rather than just having, you know, another bit of roadway or some gravel track or something like that. I do like that, and it's not all completely flat. You get the odd bump here and there, which kind of, again, gives it a nice kind of suspension smashing feel. That was my fault, not the maps. Right. So if we swing out into this road here, we are kind of now, we're heading south almost in the middle of the map. So if we head down here, a bit further. We come to this little cluster of buildings here. This one's got me slightly baffled, only slightly. This is your barn sell points. This is where you can do. Now, a lot of people ask me as well, will it do loose as well as bales? It should do. Not all of them do, but it should. There's no reason why not. That gate doesn't open, but you've got your little hazard marked area just here. Now, over here is the second sell point, and this is the one that is MrSealyp, which is crap sale. So it's for your manure, but there's no hazard marked area. This barn door does open. So I think it's probably in here. Again, we've got that slight issue we've had on some of the maps, where you've got kind of a nice texture outside of the concrete, and it is a lovely texture. Then just inside the building, the texture seems to go a little bit, and it looks a little bit blurred. It's a tiny thing, it's, you know. But so, like I say, there's no hazard marked bit, but this is the point where it shows as MrSealyp. Like, these don't open either, because I thought maybe it'd be one of these doors, but they don't open. So I assume it's in there. Could just be in the corner. Not 100% on that one. Anyway, right. So that's your barn and your manure sale. Heading south again. Like I say, I haven't encountered any... traffic's on. Haven't encountered another vehicle. Unusual. So, just turning in here, which is not much further. Now from here, if we look across to our left, that's the main farm where we started out, so it's just across the field. And this is the section that's got your main farm silo. So when we come into here, there are a few different options available in this bit. So we'll just swing around here. I'll park up in the middle and I'll walk this bit because it's probably going to be easier. Right, so directly in front of us here we've got our lime purchasing point. I like, and there's another one of those features that they're kind of all interlinked into the main silo system. I like all that kind of pipe work, and I just think it's a nice feature, just a nice addition to that. So over here is your main farm silo. This is a 200,000 litre silo, and again it's not a sellable one, it's just kind of part of the map. This will take your main crop types, so it will take your wheat, barley, sunflower, canola, all that, but it won't take anything extra. So this won't take potatoes, sugar beet, it won't take grass, hay, straw, anything like that. It just takes the main crop types, pretty much like the standard in-game ones that you place yourself. You do start on Farm Manager with, should have gone the other way, with a few things already in storage. So you can see there, whoops, we got a few of those have got things in already to start you off on. Actually, on Farm Manager I didn't check that. Normally on Farm Manager you don't start with anything, but over here we have got, I want to get this one right because I thought it was a fuel point, but it's not. This is liquid fertilizer. I'll check on the map. I'm pretty sure it is. No, not that. Other one. Yeah, that's liquid fertilizer. So if you want to buy liquid fertilizer, you can come to this spot here. I think these open. So there's more barn space dotted around all over the place. If you want to spread your vehicles around. Then in this barn here, and there are some other doors that open down the sides for getting in and out, we have got fuel, diesel, purchase point, and I think this is, because it's difficult, and I'll show you why it's difficult, when you look on the map itself, you've got both of these sell points are right on top of each other, and when you press it, it says diesel. If I go up a little bit and press the other one, it still says diesel. I think this is your solid fertilizer, because you've got liquid fertilizer over there, you've got seed at the main farm, you've got fuel there. I think this is your solid fertilizer. So, like I say, in-game buying points make life a little bit easier. So there you go. This is kind of your extension to your main farm. Well, your farm silo is housed. That was a mouthful. Right, we are going to head south again, I think. Yes, I'll see you in a moment. More woodland available, should you wish to purchase some. You might want to put your farmhouse in a nice little patch of woodland. We're going to take a left here, and we are going to head east again. On more of these concrete boards. And we come to the sawmill. So we've got our log sell point, lumber sell point, which is just here. And then as we come through here, we've got our wood chip sell point. Now, again, this is an assumption, and I'm sorry, I know not everyone likes the fact I keep saying I assume, because it does say on the Modhub, a lot of them say all FS19 features available. So I assume that if you're going to do wood chip like poplar bales using the Anderson DLC poplar baler, that you can sell them at this point. You should be able to. I think most of the map makers are doing that now. Oh, that's a good point. Textures wise, for landscaping, let me just try something. Start landscaping. Can't do it here because I don't own this bit. Just bear with me 1 second. Let's get to a bit that we do own, which is just over here. I don't know if it'll let me do it in the concrete. But if I go to painting and go to the grass texture. Oh, it does, that's right. I didn't know if it was ready for... sometimes you just get the flat grass texture, sometimes you get the new one from the update. So if you do the grass texture on this map, that will grow. So you're actually getting proper grass rather than just a flat texture. I thought I'd check that. Suddenly popped into my head. I don't know why it suddenly popped into my head, but... Okie dokie. So, moving on from here, we are going further east. And we are heading to the biogas plant, which is a little bit pricey. So, yeah, you have to give that some thought. Whether you're going to kind of build up to that, being able to buy it. But we have a couple of large bunker silos kind of built in. We also have what appears to be a tippable digester system, which I do like on a map. I like the fact you can tip in. It makes life so much easier. Some people prefer like the old school buckets and wheel loaders and things like that, or conveyor belts or whatever, but you know, having the option to do that is entirely up to you. Over in the corner, and this is our Gulliver Kauf, and this is for your slurry. So this is your slurry sell point, which is tucked around the corner at the biogas plant. Now that road there goes out to the main road that we kind of originally drove up. So if you go out and left, it takes you back up towards the farm. If you go right, it sweeps out, comes around and goes back along the kind of bottom of the map. We're going to be heading back that way in a moment. And then just around the corner here, we've got this little concrete bit that swings round. I like the fact this is slightly different as well. This is your digestate tank. So if you are selling silage and various different things here at the biogas plant, your byproduct will be digestate, and this is where you can collect your digestate from. So yeah, not bad at all. So back out of here, I'm going to head to the animal dealer. And after that, I think it's just power oil, I think, isn't it? I think you kind of feel already, you know, it's big, it's wide, it's open, you know. If you are someone who likes big machinery and that kind of thing, you're going to love this map, you know. Like I say, it may not be, because a lot of people are they're looking for an American map. They don't necessarily want to play on European maps, but if you do like an open map for big machinery, you know, this will do that job. So I did cut across country a little bit. I had to, because there's not actually a road without going miles out your way that kind of links directly from the biogas plant and sawmill to here. So I just went across the grass a little bit. But this is your animal dealership, tucked away in the corner just here. So if you want to buy or sell directly and put them, obviously at the moment we've only got the dairy part, so we can only put the cows in, but if you want to come with a trailer and pick up your animals, you can do that also, but you're obviously going to need the pens to do that first. You can't come and buy sheep if you don't own a sheep pen yet, because it just won't kind of register or recognise that you've got them. So moving on, we are now heading west again towards the bottom of the map, not quite at the bottom, obviously there's a couple of fields that separate us from there, but if we're going to whiz now westward to the final sell point. Now another thing I've kind of, other than the water purchase point at the main yard, there are no lakes, rivers, streams, anything like that on the map. So if you're just going to do your water from there, like I say, it's free, it's not a problem. but you might want to, I know there are a couple of little fountain options and various different things available in the mods that you might want to dot around all over the place. And then here we have power oil, so this is for your canola and your sunflower. So this is where you can bring that to sell, which I don't think you can sell up at the main grain elevator. So if you want to do that as a crop, you've got to come to here. And like I say, I think what's quite cool about that is it kind of forces you to go to different parts of the map. Often I've found on playing on different maps, one sell point will have much better prices than another, or if you've got 2 or 3 or 4 sell points, and you end up going to the same sell point every single time because the prices are good there. This way you're kind of forced to go out around the map to different sell points to take your products. But there you go. That's it. VORPOMMERN RUGEN by AtzeVR. I think I've covered most stuff. I may have missed something. Again, any glitches or issues that it may have, again, you often find at the start of a new map coming out, within a week or so there may be an update, because the more people that play on it, the more people will find odd things that aren't quite right. It might be there's an area you can't place placeables for some reason, so there may well be an update at some point. Hopefully not. It should all be good to go as is. But there you go. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form, even if it's just to get a little view of, you know, what the map looks like. May not be your cup of tea, but you've had a look. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.